Today, I'm going to expose a raw, unfiltered truth that the ultra-rich don't want you to know. A truth that could fundamentally reshape how you see money, your career, and your financial freedom. Brace yourself, because what you're about to hear flies in the face of everything you've been taught about debt. Be honest with me. Are you afraid of debt? Most of us are conditioned to believe that debt is evil, a burden, that the wise person never borrows. But have you ever stopped to ask, is there a single wealthy person who isn't in debt? Look at the most powerful nations in the world, the US, Japan, China. They carry astronomical debts, and they continue to get richer, to thrive. The hard truth is, the assets of the wealthy and prosperous nations are almost always proportional to the debt they carry. The more debt they have, the richer they become. This isn't a coincidence. This is the ultimate art form that you must master to become wealthy, free, and even to save yourself in times of crisis. You think you're safe by never borrowing? Imagine this. Your family suddenly needs a large sum of money for medical treatment. Do you have it? Or will you stand there helpless simply because you're paralyzed by the so-called risk? Who instilled this fear of debt in you? Your teachers? Your parents? People who have never truly learned how to leverage debt themselves. Listening to them talk about the risks of borrowing is like listening to someone who's never driven a car tell you that driving is dangerous. All the risks in this world stem from a lack of knowledge. I will teach my children to drive, and I will absolutely teach them how to borrow money. Because if you don't know how to drive, even a Ferrari is useless. If you don't know how to manage debt, no matter how large an inheritance your family leaves you, it will mean nothing. Years ago, I was just as naive, believing debt was an expense. Debt was bad. I started from scratch, worked tirelessly to earn my first capital, invested in stocks to grow it, and then ventured into business. I avoided debt because Rich Dad Poor Dad said to acquire assets and avoid liabilities, but I misunderstood it completely. The author wasn't telling us to avoid all debt, but to avoid bad debt and to leverage good debt. In that moment, it was like a light switch flipped. Right now, I owe the bank money. My debt continues to grow, but I sleep better than anyone because I have plenty of assets, a team that handles my work, and many people who love me, including you. My creditors even wish me more success. Want to know why? Let me give you an extreme example to show you how major empires wield debt. Do you think the executives of Lehman Brothers, AIG, or Bear Stearns, the companies that collapsed in the 2008 crisis, are now living in poverty? Absolutely not. They paid themselves enormous bonuses before their companies failed, and then received huge bailouts from the government. What about American capitalists? When the financial crisis erupted, they calmly bundled up toxic debts and sold them to other countries, forcing the entire world to buy their bonds. In a short time, the US economy recovered, even stronger than before. The world's money flowed back into American pockets. Do you know how much money the US owes? A colossal, uncountable sum. If too much debt was truly risky, the US should have collapsed long ago. But no, they still dominate the world. They can plunge the global economy into recession in a blink, then raise the value of the dollar. Use that money to buy devalued assets worldwide, and then weaken the dollar again to lighten their debt burden. This is the secret. They have debt. So why are you stubbornly avoiding debt while the Federal Reserve prints money without limit? Why are you so diligently saving? Saving is the biggest trick the banks ever pulled. Deposit $1 million in the bank and you get $20,000 in interest annually. But if someone borrows $1 million from the bank, they might pay $100,000 in interest. The bank isn't just making $80,000 from that spread, they're making $480,000 or even more thanks to financial leverage. When you borrow $1 million to buy a house, the bank doesn't give you cash. They transfer it directly to the seller's account. The money remains within the banking system. They use that same money to facilitate hundreds, thousands of other transactions, generating millions in profit while paying you a tiny fraction in interest. This is how the wealthy operate. Financial leverage is a must-have skill for the rich, the secret to making in 1 month what others make in a lifetime. Most people don't make money because they're afraid of risk, they don't have customers, they don't have capital. You're afraid of paying rent, employees' salaries, inventory costs? Then start a business online. There's a street called YouTube with 2.4 billion people passing through it every day. Opening a store there costs $0. If just 10,000 of those 2.4 billion people spend $100 on your product or service, you'll instantly have $1 million. 20 years ago, we shopped in physical stores or malls. Now, everyone shops online. Why aren't you seizing this golden opportunity? You say you don't know business, marketing, video editing, or have special skills, and you even don't want anyone to know you're making money? Don't worry. If you don't know, learn. And importantly, learn from the right mentor. Like Guo Jing, who was initially naive but became a master after meeting Hong Kyogong. The mentor you choose must be someone who has achieved the results you want and must be able to make you understand. So what is good debt, and how do you make money by borrowing? Listen closely to this example. There was an airline with just over $1 million in hand, money I already had at 23. They raised $30–40 million from the public to buy an airplane. But instead of buying it outright, they used half of that as a down payment to buy 2 airplanes and finance the rest. The bank agreed because if the airline defaulted, the bank would repossess the planes. Result, with the money for 1 plane, they bought 2. But they didn't stop there. They went back to banks and investors saying, "Our planes are flying daily, fully booked. Each plane generates $60,000 a day. In 3 years, we can make $60–70 million in profit. Our proposal? All profits for the next 3 years will belong to you. You just need to invest $50 million now, and in 3 years, you'll receive $60–70 million." Investors found it reasonable. Put in $50 million, get $60–70 million in 3 years, a stable $10–20 million profit. They agreed. The airline immediately had $50 million. They took this money to the bank again to borrow more, repeating the process, and acquired 200 airplanes, pre-selling all future profits for the next 3 years to investors. This is how capitalism operates. Borrow money to acquire assets. Then sell the future profits of those assets to investors or banks. But ultimately, those assets still belong to them. They use the cash flow from the business to gradually repay the debt. The longer the repayment period, the better, as the monthly payments will be lower. After 3 years, the profits from the 200 planes revert to the company, and the debt burden significantly decreases. Good debt is debt that someone else helps you pay. I've done this many times. I had over $1 million and a house worth $1 million. I only took $500,000 as a down payment and borrowed from the bank to buy 2 houses. Used the money for 1, bought 2. Are you worried? Now I don't have much money left. What if I can't pay the debt? Why wouldn't you be able to pay the debt? Because you're afraid of losing your job? Afraid of your company going bankrupt? Afraid of a crisis? Because you've never thought about renting out the house so tenants help you pay the debt. Who are the real asset owners? They are almost all people who buy houses to rent out. My 2 houses are the same. The monthly rent is enough to cover the bank loan. When the house value doubles, do I sell it? No, I simply find the bank and borrow more money. When the house is worth $2 million, I borrow a few $100,000 more and use that to buy 1 or 2 smaller houses. This way, I continue to expand my portfolio under personal, family, and company names, and in various countries. With such high financial leverage, if house prices fall, will I go bankrupt? No, because I never intended to sell the house in the first place. I'm not a real estate speculator. Others might make 10% and sell, or 50% and pull out, but not me. I benefit from how much the house price increases over time. If the house price drops by 10%, I just make 10% less profit. Others might feel regret, but I don't, because I never plan to sell anyway. I let tenants pay the debt for me. Does the bank ever urge me to pay? Absolutely not, because I always make my payments on time. They even call me daily asking if I want to borrow more. Are you worried about rising interest rates? Go check rental prices in areas you know. Rental income has been consistently increasing. My rental income now is even higher than what I have to pay the bank each month. The longer the mortgage term, the less you pay monthly. And most importantly, the principal amount is still mine. When I sell the house, I'll get it back. Complaining you don't have enough for a down payment on a house? I'll say it again. In this era, the simplest and most effective way to change your destiny is to start an online business. Even billionaires are doing YouTube. People with less education than you are making money online. Monks sharing Buddhist teachings, Feng Shui masters explaining concepts, kids singing, dancing, playing games, reviewing toys, even people who just act silly or make jokes. Everyone is making money. Everything can become creative content. If you don't have enough for a down payment, then borrow. Borrow from your parents, your friends. You can even partner with others to co-invest and buy together. Sign a contract, share the money according to the capital invested. This is why people say connections are currency. Ordinary people can't play this game because they don't have collateral for the bank to lend to them. They can only find investors to raise capital. But sadly, most people can't even borrow $10,000 from their friends because their friends will immediately think you're a scammer if you borrow to invest in business. That's why I only associate with people who benefit my business and my money-making endeavors. Those who just invite me to drink and waste time, I gradually cut ties with. The internet is the best place to connect with high-value individuals and quality friends. Relationships are like credit cards. If you don't use them regularly, they're not a resource for you. If your credit card limit is $100,000, but you want to buy something worth $200,000, the bank won't increase your limit if you haven't used the card much before. How I do it is I use my credit card for all my daily transactions and pay it off on time. After 6 months to a year, I raise the limit. As the limit increases, the bank proactively upgrades my card to platinum, even black card status. Relationships are the same. I regularly ask friends for help, proactively give gifts. Even when I have money, if there's an investment project, I will still borrow from friends to see how much they can lend. Because I always repay on time, each time I borrow, I build my credibility. What's your credit value? Try borrowing money from your friends and see how much they're willing to lend you. That amount is your credit value. Trust needs to be nurtured. So what is bad debt? It's how ordinary people understand debt. Borrowing money to buy a designer bag for your girlfriend? You're not only paying off your own debt, but you're also paying off debt for another woman. I know many people are trapped in the vicious cycle of bad debt and feel immense pain. I understand that feeling. If you genuinely cannot pay your debts, listen carefully to these 6 pieces of advice. These are methods that will help you rebound and even make investors and creditors willing to lend you more money to help you recover financially. Above all, I hope you don't view debt as something so serious that you must end your life. Never run away. Fleeing is the most foolish thing to do. You will be found, and when you are, your reputation will be destroyed, and no one will ever lend to you again. Don't cut off contact. Always answer your creditors' calls. Always meet them if they want to. Send them holiday greetings. Don't force them to take drastic measures. All such actions are born out of coercion. Don't test their patience. Don't let them lose faith in you. Let them know you're not hiding. They can see all your assets, know what you're doing. If you have nothing left to sell, at least show them you're trying to change. Your only goal in life is to find a way to repay them. If they push you to the brink, they'll never get their money back. Be responsible. No beating around the bush, no empty talk. Just one goal. Work tirelessly to repay debt. Keep working, don't spend extravagantly, don't buy new clothes, and consistently pay a portion of your debt each month. Be proactive. Most debtors hide and cut off contact. This is the most foolish action, pushing themselves into a corner. We are people of integrity. Money can be owed, but reputation cannot. Proactively remind them of your debt. Clearly state how much you owe, what you're doing to earn money to repay it, and what your plans are. This helps creditors feel more secure. They are the people who trust you, who want you to do well. Don't turn them into enemies. Seek opportunities. If an investment opportunity arises, you can certainly leverage your credibility to borrow from creditors. Why? Because if they lend you more to help you recover, they not only have a chance to get their money back, but can also make a profit. Conversely, if they don't lend, that debt might be lost forever. Don't let yourself fall into a situation where no one helps you. You still need to rely on resources from others. Do you understand now? Are you ready to change your financial mindset? In this video, I've shared secrets worth tens of thousands of dollars for free, secrets that those overpriced courses out there will never reveal. If you don't want to miss out on this life-changing information, subscribe to my channel right now, turn on notifications, and share this video with anyone you think needs to hear this truth. My channel is dedicated to sharing wealth mindset with entrepreneurs, helping people invest, and understanding how the truly rich manage their finances. I sincerely wish all of you who have supported this video early financial freedom. If just 1 or 2 sentences in this video have helped your life, I feel fulfilled. See you in the next videos where we'll dive even deeper into the secrets of wealth.